question that I get often is, can the victim drop the charges against me? So the criminal defendant, someone who's been arrested for a crime, they want to know, can the victim actually drop these charges against me? Is it as simple as the victim just going down to the state attorney's office, telling them they don't want to prosecute, signing what's called a waiver of prosecution, and then magically the charges against me disappear? Unfortunately, the answer is no. The victim cannot drop the charges against you. It's not the victim versus the defendant. It's the state of Florida versus the defendant. So once the police are involved and the police have made an arrest, that train has really left the station regarding the victim dropping the charges. Now the case is in the hands of the state attorney's office, and the state attorney's office will be the sole person who decides whether or not charges will go forward. Now, the reality is it does help someone's case that maybe a victim's not interested in pursuing it, or the victim doesn't want the defendant prosecuted. But again, it's not up to the victim. It is up to the individual state attorney who's deciding whether a crime was committed or not. I mean, technically speaking, the prosecutor's office has an obligation that if they believe a crime was committed, they have to prosecute, whether the victim wants them to prosecute or not. This comes up more often in domestic batteries, boyfriend and girlfriend, husband and wife, brother and sister, whomever. They get into a fight and the defendant is arrested, and then the wife or the girlfriend or the brother or the sister or whomever, they don't want their loved one prosecuted. So they feel bad about having the person arrested to begin with. So they want to run down to the prosecutor's office and say, hey, look, I don't want my loved one prosecuted. Again, their opinion does carry some weight with the prosecutor, but it doesn't carry the day. If the prosecutor believes a crime was committed, they are likely to prosecute regardless of what the victim wants. By the same token, you also have victims that are very adamant about prosecution. That doesn't work either. So if the prosecutor thinks that a crime was not committed, then just because a victim goes down to the prosecutor's office and says, I want this person prosecuted, I demand to have them hung from the highest tree in Sarasota, again, that may carry a little weight with the prosecutor, but it does not carry the day. A prosecutor cannot ethically prosecute a case simply because the victim wants that to be done. So, in the future when you hear someone say, hey, the victim's going to drop charges, technically speaking, that's not a correct legal statement. The victim cannot drop charges in a criminal case.